Comparison problems, an algebra introduction. Let's use the following problem to talk about how we can introduce algebra. There are 64 baseball cards on the table. Joe owns 7 times the amount of baseball cards than Bill. How many baseball cards does each boy own? Now, you can see a bunch of dashes next to Joe and Bill, and these are going to act as placeholders, or for you algebra fans, locate the arrow. That is the X involved in the problem. There is a specific number of dash marks for a purpose. Bill has 1, and Joe has 7. So Joe has 7 times as much of whatever we have here in terms of a variable, which is using baseball cards, but Joe has 7 times the amount than Bill. Then we need to figure out the math. What goes on these hash marks? What are they representing? Well, we know there are 64 baseball cards. And now we have a total of 8 dash marks, 7 for Joe and 1 for Bill. So that gives us a math problem of 64 divided by 8. And 64 divided by 8 gives us 8. So each one of those hash marks are a current placeholder for one of these 8s. Okay, so now our placeholders are filled in. We know there's 7 times something more Joe has than Bill. And now we know they're the value of 8. But what do they add up to? And can we check our math? Now if you add across, obviously Bill only has a total of 8 cards. If you add across for Joe, it's basically 8 times 7, or adding 8 7 times, you get 56. Now, to check yourself, 8 times 7 does equal 56. So Bill times 7 does give you 56. And to complete that check, you can add up your two totals for 56 plus 8 to give you 64. The whole key in the problem is seeing which value is higher, or which person in the problem is higher, whether comparing dogs or cats or animals, and always understanding that each value has at least 1, and that 7 times, that 8 times, that 9 times the amount are the dashes above. So you always have to understand that the smaller value always has a value of 1, and that's where down the road you'll start learning about variables like x in terms of algebra. So this is a brief introduction. I hope it helps. If you have any more questions of this regard, please let me know.